When Tony Hawk's Pro Skater landed on the original PlayStation in September of 1999, the skateboarding subgenre of video games was forever changed. Pro Skater set the gold standard for arcade-style skateboarding titles. The game was so popular that it was eventually ported to other systems, and by 2001, over 3.5 million copies of the game had been sold. While all of this was happening, MTV launched a lineup of their own extreme sports titles, starting with MTV Sports Snowboarding in October of 1999. But the second entry in the lineup will be the subject of today's video, MTV Sports Skateboarding featuring Andy MacDonald. And it turns out that after Neversoft crafted one of the most highly praised sports video games of all time, they turned around and released what is, to this day, the best reviewed game on the original PlayStation, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, which hit store shelves on September 20th, 2000, exactly 1 week after MTV Sports Skateboarding. Terrible release timing aside, MTV's first and only skateboarding title was met with a much colder reception than Pro Skater 2. Did MTV Sports Skateboarding featuring Andy MacDonald deserve all the hate it received? Let's check it out.
Yellow helmet, yellow t-shirt, yellow t-shirt.
Everyone wants to be like Andy MacDonald. Now you can, with cool music, over 35 levels, and a one-of-a-kind stunt mode for the truly fearless.
Andy sets a world record jump, I set a world record jump.
Rated E for everyone.
Shoot.
Presentation is everything, and right out of the gate, MTV Skateboarding hits you with an intro video accompanied by the song Streetcar by Deftones. And while I absolutely love Deftones, this intro just doesn't hold a candle to the opening for Pro Skater 2. Pro Skater 2 has, even to this day, just such an incredible intro. Hearing Guerrilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine and seeing all of the playable skaters available to you alongside skate footage of those individuals just hit me like a ton of bricks when I was a kid and hyped me up for the experience ahead. MTV Skateboarding's intro, on the other hand, doesn't even tell you who you're looking at. You're kinda just slapped in the face with a bunch of skate footage. Heading right into free play mode, this is your standard no timer mode, much like Free Skate in the Tony Hawk games. And this is where you're presented with MTV Skateboarding's extensive roster of skaters. Now, I know that the 90s produced some of the most iconic professional skateboarders of all time, but this roster is truly stacked. I mean, who am I even supposed to pick? Like, there's so many great skaters to choose from.
Welcome back to Ridiculousness. 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 Back to Ridiculousness.
So many of you might not know this, but years before he took over MTV as a viral video commentator with a nervous hand-rubbing tic, Rob Dyrdek was a professional skateboarder who just so happened to appear in an MTV game 6 years before his first MTV show. And as easy as it would be for me just to sit here and dunk on Rob Dyrdek, he paid his dues as a skateboarder while riding for Alien Workshop back in the day. And even though I think some of his best skating was showcased in the Minefield video from 2009, I legitimately go back and watch his memory screen video part from 1991 all the time. And Rob Dyrdek might be the current poster boy for MTV, but Andy MacDonald was the poster boy for this game, and even though he's definitely not a household name like Tony Hawk was and still continues to be, Andy is one of the all-time greats in the world of vert skating. But after Andy's first appearance at the X Games, he and Tony would partner up for vert doubles events over the next several years, taking home the gold medal 6 times in total, which made things even more awkward when MTV Skateboarding dropped around the same time as Pro Skater 2, and critics just crapped all over it. Entering free play with Rob Dyrdek, aka Bobby Diesel himself, I was relieved that MTV Skateboarding shares a similar control scheme with the Pro Skater games. The biggest difference being rotations, which are performed with the left and right triggers instead of the left joystick or D-pad. I honestly hated this mechanic at first, but once I got used to it, I didn't really mind it. Manuals, or wheelies as they're referred to in this game, are done almost the same way as in Pro Skater, except you press up or down followed by the grind button. Balancing on a grind rail is handled with the triggers as well, and this truly sucks. You have to let go of the triggers before you reach the end of a rail, or your skater will do a quarter turn and just slam. And I'd say that every 2 out of 3 times that you bail, you hear the sound of a crowd of people booing at you. It's the same sound every time, so you better get used to it, because you're going to be falling a lot. And we all remember the missions in Pro Skater's career mode. racking up high scores, collecting skate letters, wrecking cop cars,
Yeah, screw you, pig.
finding the secret tape, and so much more. MTV Skateboarding's Lifestyle Mode is the game's answer to Pro Skater's Career Mode, and it is just laughably bad in comparison. Every level is scored like a competition, and all you have to do is worry about trick variety and your overall score. Every couple levels, you're also tasked with collecting little photographs, but that's literally it. Also, this mode doesn't let you ride as an established pro. Instead, you're forced to choose from a selection of pre-made skaters with the dumbest names imaginable. You got Billy J. Jim Bob, Anna Graham, and my boy Steve Seagal. I'm honestly torn on whether this was supposed to be a play on Steven Seagal's name or a weird way of mocking Tony Hawk by giving the character a bird-themed name. Other than the promise of becoming a legendary name in the world of skateboarding, Lifestyle Mode flashes images of unnamed mystery girls during each loading screen to entice you into progressing further, which is truly one of the most early 2000 things I've ever seen. Moving on, we can just skip past high score mode because it's pretty self-explanatory, but I was really interested to check out MTV Hunt. That is, until I actually played it. In MTV Hunt, your main objective is to locate little floating MTV icons throughout each level. You have to collect 10 of them, and if you bail, you lose 1 or 2 of the MTV logos that you've already collected. Like, forever. You can't go back and collect those dropped logos. And in a game where you fall pretty much constantly, that really sucks. If not for the 6-minute time limit they give you, I would have truly believed that this game mode was designed by Satan himself. Survival mode is up next, and in this mode, your only goal is to land tricks in order to keep the clock from running down to 0. Interesting idea, but I got bored of this so quick. Now, this next mode was the one that I anticipated the most. In pretty much every review that I've read for this game from back in the day, Stunt Mode was brought up as one of the brighter spots in the game. I couldn't agree more because this mode provided me with an emotion that I had yet to experience while playing MTV Skateboarding: amusement. The best way to describe Stunt Mode is take the downhill jam level from Pro Skater 1, shorten it up a bit, add a big jump or two, and limit the objective to achieving a high score. It sounds super simple, but I legitimately enjoyed this mode quite a bit. That is, until I got to the final level. I spent over 30 minutes trying to get to the end of this stage, only for, well, this to happen. Here we go, come on baby, Stunt Mode champ coming through. F*** you, Rob Dyrdek, amazingness sucked! I do have a few positives about this game. Like I said, Stunt Mode was pretty fun, for a while at least. Even though there are only 10 songs on the soundtrack, they're performed by artists like Pennywise, System of a Down, Goldfinger, Cypress Hill, No Use for a Name, the aforementioned Deftones, and of course, OPM with their hit song Heaven is a Halfpipe. And actually, all of the general sound effects in this game are pretty phenomenal for the time. They were provided by the studio run by the darling of the retro gaming community here on YouTube, Tommy Tallarico. Now, I'm not going to spiral down that rabbit hole, but the sound of your wheels changes as you ride over different types of terrain, and you can even hear your bearings spinning when you launch into the air. And of course, the roster of pro skaters is really good, but the unlockable characters on the other hand are just so completely lame. With the MTV name behind this game, you'd think that we would be able to unlock, I don't know, maybe characters from MTV's wide assortment of shows? But a big reason that the Pro Skater games turned out so well was that Tony Hawk had a very hands-on approach during their development. He provided direct feedback to the team at Neversoft, who crafted the game's mechanics and feel around his recommendations. When I was playing MTV Skateboarding, I could just tell that this game did not have the same heart or soul put into it. But the MTV Sports label only saw 2 additional entries on the PlayStation and Gameboy Color before being axed in 2001. And the development team behind MTV Skateboarding, the UK-based Darkblack Limited, gave up on trying to follow the success of the Pro Skater games, and instead turned to Nickelodeon for their next project. Andy MacDonald also made the change to a younger target audience as the cover athlete for Backyard Skateboarding. And say what you will about this one, but I still think it looks better than Pro Skater 5. That's it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.